going to dial in on the telephone conference call line right now. Let's see how many people are waiting for us. 1-712-432-0075. I believe that's the right number. Is it, Prophet Kelly?
This service is provided by freeconferencing.com. Thank you. Access code accepted. There are 25 participants in this conference.
Okay.
Yes, hello.
Okay,
How
we're
you doing,
live.
Barbara?
I'm doing great, Bishop.
Good. I want to just ask you a question here. Are you under doctor's care right now? Because I'm looking at something where I see a divine intervention happening for you.
Okay. And we're going to, and they're going to get ready to pull that live right now. So we are grateful to be here today, and we want those of you that are watching us right now, why don't you type in the chat room and say, I am watching you right now. I am watching you right now. And we're going to be having a great time today. We got some prophecies to do today, and we'd like to say Happy Father's Day to everyone today. Well, I am excited to have, he's been with us all weekend this weekend, and Brother Les Brown. He is no stranger here. Brother Les Brown, this stage is very different than when you spoke here 15 years ago, isn't it?
Yes, it most certainly is, and I'm glad to be here, but this is really transformation. And I want to say Happy Father's Day to all the fathers, and Happy Father's Day to all the mothers who serve as fathers.
All right, now let's give that a hand. That's it. You think,
Because Father's Day time, I gave my mother a Father's Day card.
really?
Absolutely. There are many mothers. 84% of the households in our community, there are mothers who are serving as fathers. I had an event 2 years ago in Chicago, and the event was for fathers who provide and protect, and for mothers who serve as fathers.
Wow. And
That was extremely controversial.
now that's what I'm going to
Yes,
ask you about.
yes.
When you did that, did a lot of mothers sign up and come to the event?
Oh, without any question. And the phones, they received over 1,000 calls that were extremely controversial because there had never been an event to recognize fathers and mothers who serve as fathers. And I brought the two of them together, and it was a beautiful event. But I think that we need to recognize that one of the biggest lies ever told was and is that a woman cannot raise a boy to be a man.
Oh, my
That
goodness.
is a lie. If that were in fact true, we wouldn't have any men in our community. Come on now. Oh, come on now. Come on. I'm starting it this morning.
You starting the
right.
controversy here
That's
on
right.
Father's Day.
That's right. If the shoe fit, wear it. You know, and it don't fit, it's your shoe, wear it anyhow. Absolutely. Absolutely. We have created a generation of sperm donors.
Ooh.
And I did an editorial saying, Happy Father's Day to the fathers who provide and protect, and mothers who serve as fathers, and leave the sperm donors at home.
Ooh. Okay, those of you watching right now, we have Les Brown, who is no stranger in the community, maybe strangers to you young people. But what do you think about what he is sharing right now? So you're saying that, well, when you have...
We have to call this out, because when we do that, then we begin to hold ourselves accountable. There's an African proverb that says, if there's no enemy within, the enemy outside can do us no harm.
Exactly. That's true.
Yes.
And looking at the whole accountability, you know, if a man does not become head of family or assume his role in family and in community, then it begins to act almost like the animal kingdom. Because, you know, in the animal kingdom, like the ants, the bees, the male only donate the sperm. They only good for fertilization.
Absolutely. And we must hold ourselves to a higher standard. The reason why gangs are so prevalent in our community, because when there absence of men, then boys run the neighborhood.
Yes. And
that's why. Because the men are not being men and not standing up and taking control of the community. And so as a result, with the absence of the man's presence, then the young boys, they form gangs, they become entrepreneurs without morals, and we find ourselves living in fear in our own homes because there are no men there.
You know, this same experiment I heard was done with rats, that they had moved the father out of the community, and the boy rats started running in gangs, in groups, and creating havoc in the particular nest. And when you think about it, this happens so often in our projects, in the community.
Yes.
The father becomes absent.
You know, I spoke at the $1 Million, Manpower Conference, and they had some signs up called "A Million More." And I said, here's what I want. I want 1 million men to march to the mailbox and drop in a child support payment. And yes, and the place went quiet.
Les
You
Brown.
know about our march, giving all that money to airports, to planes, and to trains, and to buses and gas? No. Have 1 million men. You want to reduce crime in our community? You want to reduce the misery index? Have 1 million men. Some of them can't put on return addresses because they're so far behind, but have 1 million men. I want to start a movement, a march on Father's Day.
A Father's Day.
1 million men to march to the mailbox and drop in a child support payment.
Wow and wow.
And you don't hear ministers talking about this. You know why?
Why?
Because many of them are not paying child support.
Oh my goodness.
So
Les
they don't
Brown.
talk about this from the pulpit. Absolutely. How are you going to talk about we can do all things through Christ who strengthens us except pay child support payments? Give me a break. We're more than a conquerors, but we can't take care of our children. Give me a break. We are more than sperm donors. We can do better than this.
Yes.
And we need to call it out.
I tell you. Now, Les Brown, we are saying Happy Father's Day to you.
Thank you.
And I love this. You know, we're going to do a motivational book, Sam, for fathers only, for the eyes of men only.
Absolutely.
Fathers only.
And let me tell you something. When I talk about this, I talk about from a place of knowing. I have 10 children.
I know. Talk to us about that. When you told me you had 10 children, you know, I had to stop, pause in the hallway when you told me that. I said 10. You said 10 children.
10.
You have 10 children.
Didn't the
Les
Lord
Brown.
say, be fruitful and multiply?
You should, and you know, and you fulfilled that law.
Yeah, but I didn't even know I had 10.
Talk to the people.
I just met a son who's 44. I never knew.
Just met a son.
I
that's
just
44.
met him. Took my other children with me to meet him in Columbus, Ohio.
Oh my goodness.
Yes.
Tell us about that
It
moment.
was a powerful moment because I saw him coming across the corridor, and I said, that face looked like my face. Those eyes look like my eyes. Those smiles look like my smile. And I said to him, I said, you're experiencing something I've always wanted to experience. And he said, what? I said, I'm so glad to see you. And I said, I always wondered, what would it be like to look in the face of my father? What would it be like to hear my father's voice? I have never heard his voice
You've
or my
never
mother's
heard your
voice.
father's
No, I'm
voice?
adopted. I've never heard my father's voice or my mother's voice. I've never seen a picture of my birth mother or my birth father. And because Mamie Brown's love was so encompassing, when I said, all that I am and all that I ever hope to be, I owe to my mother, I never even thought about my birth mother, but I was always curious, particularly when I speak, where did I get this voice? What did my father do? Or what is it about me that I got from my mother or my father? What is that about my personality? Because I'm doing things that I don't even know how to do them.
Wow.
But I know that I know, and I can do it.
Yes.
Yes, and so I always wondered, what was that? What did my father do? What kind of guy was he? Did he know that I existed? Because they said that my birth mother was in Florida. She came from someplace up north, and she had us in Florida, in Miami, in Liberty City, an abandoned building on 17th Avenue, Northwest 62nd Street. Now, 3 different psychics on a cruise, different cruises over my years of being out here speaking, said when I had a talk show here in New York that my birth mother came to see me, that she knew me but I didn't know her, and she came up and smiled at me and she embraced me and she just looked at me and she left. So can you imagine my tracing back in my mind what face looked like mine, what smile or what look that I might have looked in her eyes but didn't